Semester optional students, I have explained about the Old English period in the last video. Today, I would like to describe about the Middle English period. Middle English period starts from 1100 AD up to 1500 AD. So, very important um, developments we see during the Middle English period. I have explained in the last video as far as that Old English period is concerned. Old English period, it was a pure English with a little Latin influence and homogeneous language, and there were no silent syllables, word order, free word order, and full of inflections. So I have also explained about the important literary output like long epic poem Beowulf and Cadamon's hymn and one more Anglo-Saxon chronicle. So coming to the Middle English period, that was a War of Hastings took place during the year 1066 AD. Normans attacked England and they conquered it. The Normans, they came into England, they entered into England, and the king, who whose name is William, the Duke of Normandy, um, came to England, and not only the king and the officials, but lots of people along with him, they arrived to England. And because of the dominance of William, the Duke of Normandy, and basically they were influenced by, their language was French language. So that's why these Normans and their language became more and more dominant during the Middle English period. I come to explain about that. So here we look at the decline of English between 1066 and 1204, and once again from 1204 till 1348, once again the rise of English language, and once again English became the dominant language from 1348 up to 1509. So this is how the downfall of English and the rise of English that takes place during the Middle English period. So that's why this England was conquered by William, the Duke of Normandy, in the year 1066 by, I mean, by this king, and later it was the time these people dominated the whole period, and that's why how English had lost its importance during the first part, that is from 1066 up to 1204. So there was a Norman French spoken by invaders, and that's why it became the language of England, and it became the language of ruling class in England. Which language? French language. That's why English in England lost its importance. Higher class people, aristocratic people, they began to, who were in the palace and who were with the king and officials, they began to speak French in England during this time. And that's why English was reduced to the language of laborers and low class people. So this is how French dominated during this period. And once again, come to the next point, the rise of English and how English once again had uh, taken its importance in England between 1204 and 1348. Let us see this. When King John lost Normandy, King John who lost Normandy in the years following 1204, the links to the French speaking community subsided because that King John of Normandy, his relationship with England had been cut off. And that's why the community speaking, French speaking community had lost its touch with the English people during this period. And English from that onwards began to gain more and more importance. And 100 years later, English was again spoken by the representatives of the social classes. This new version of English language being strikingly different, of course, from the earlier English, what we have studied in the Old English period. And during this period, a growing spirit of nationalism within England appeared because this is quite natural that how England and English had gained its importance over the French language, and there was a rise of speakers of English in England by this time, and gradual decline of French culture and dominance of English culture in England. So it regained its importance during this time. And coming to the next step, how English had its dominance between 1348 and 1509. So, as far as the French language is concerned, in during that period, French became the official language of England because of its constant, use of English to in the palace by kings and queens. I mean, the royal people. So it was the, the official language. Which one? French was the official language. So that's why um, once again the language, English language, had taken its, a rise. I mean, taken its, importance during the 14th century. It's why because it's why because um, Geoffrey Chaucer, a very important English poet, who began to write poems during this time. And his theme was the nationalism, patriotism, and also um, very attractive, impressive love poems to the young minds had turned the people of England from the French to English language once again during this time. And English began to be more common in legal documents than French and Latin during this time. And William Caxton set up England's first printing press in Westminster, London. The appearance of a printing press was fundamental to establish English as the standard language, so both written and spoken. So the Norman invasion naturally had a profound effect on the English institutions and its language, and that's why, anyway, England in English had gained its uh, importance during this time. And now we shall start explaining the features of the Middle English period in the next video.